Hello everyone, today I want to talk about how I became a witch slash wizard slash fairy something. I really don't care about the terms nor definitions nor anything, to be honest. So I've always been a pretty skeptical person, and I was always only believing things that were like scientifically proven, and I didn't even want to hear about anything that sounded anything not scientific like. However, I discovered that magic is actually working, and you can cast spells and you can enchant objects, and it actually works. So is it really magic? Well, for me it's just psychological tricks. It's like with lucky numbers. If you choose that your lucky number is 6, then you will see 6 in your life appearing all the time in some lucky situations. However, the truth is that you could choose any number and it would work just as well. And that's because all of the numbers occur in your life, both in lucky and unlucky situations. It's just a matter of what you notice. You could say that when you are raised up, it works in a similar way. Because when you are a kid, then you don't know anything about the world. And your only source of information about it is your parents, your caretakers, your friends, basically your family and, your environment in general. So whatever people that are close to you and that you trust tell you, it will become your reality. And it works both with how they explain the world, like what is dangerous, what is good, what is bad, and so on. And it also works with how you see yourself, because you start seeing yourself how they see you. If in your childhood you kept hearing that you are a bad kid and you are not behaving well, or that you are not trustworthy or whatever, it might be that later in your adulthood you might feel this way, or you may have some kind of traumas or some self-esteem issues, like all of that. Obviously, later in life we become a little bit more self-aware, so we are not dependent on what others tell us about ourselves because we know ourselves already. However, we are already possessing the opinions that we were told about us by our caretakers. Basically, we already learned what to think about ourselves, but later we obviously trust ourselves a little bit more than others. However, we already are thinking what they are thinking. So the conclusion is, what we see as the truth is truly what we just habitually are thinking. So what you consider as the truth is what you are telling yourself the most often. And if it is so, then it should be possible to change the truth if you change the way you think, right? So that's what I thought one night, and decided that I can basically raise myself up again. So I opened up my journal and I wrote down all the things that I am thinking about myself already, but I don't like it. And then I wrote down how I want myself to think. So these are the things that I wrote down. I accept my bad emotions. I talk about my sadness with courage. I am confident when I express anger. I allow myself to express anger. I know that my anger has a good reason. I expect others to react to my anger. I think that others should accept my anger. And so on and so on. So basically, I told myself how I want to think as if I was already thinking this way. In this way, I am kind of like creating the world already. I don't say that I want myself to change. I say I changed already. I am changed. Because in this way, I am already, it's like I already created this world. It's like I already am living in a world that I want to live in. And this is basically how you were treated as a child, right? Like, people were telling you the world is this, you are behaving this way, and they were like sharing with you those opinions as if they were already true, as if the world was the way they were describing it. So you can do it yourself right now. You can basically tell yourself what the world is. Just say that, even if it's different from what you are habitually thinking already. Change the habits. I mean, this is the way I did it, and things slowly really started changing. I was trusting this method more and more, and I remember one day I got a job, and I was pretty nervous about starting it because I knew that I am quite sensitive, and sometimes when I am put in a stressful situation, it's hard to handle for me. So I wanted to prepare myself with a little bit of raising up. So I will tell you what I wrote down just before I started the job. So what I wrote down is: I am calm, I am needed, I can see every moment as joyful, I am capable of learning, I am hopeful, I know that people want good things to happen to me just as well as they want good things to happen to them. It's good that I am here, I am safe. So these are the things that I needed the most at in the first day of the job. And then the next day came, right? So first of all, I felt really strong. I felt really confident, and I actually felt safe. And then the environment that I encountered was awful. I quit this job as soon as possible because what was happening there was awful. The boss was mean, putting it delicately. Basically, I was put in a very stressful situation, and I felt really light. I felt really confident. It was very unusual. Like, normally I think I would cry immediately. But then I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel nervous. I felt actually pretty confident. I felt calm. And I knew that if people treat me badly, it's really not my fault. It's just the way they behave. So at the end of the day, I was really shocked. I didn't feel like myself because that is not what usually happens with me. And then I thought, Jesus, those things that I wrote down, it works like spells. It was almost as if I casted a charm on myself. And since then, I decided that I will give a chance to this magic thing, to real spellcasting. And that's when I created a spellbook, which looks like that. And I think I will talk about it more in a separate video. However, I kept writing down more and more spells that looked like I am confident or I am understood. But sometimes I was more inspired and I was creating poems. And one of the poems was about my friends that I haven't seen for a while. But in the poem I said that I was okay with it, and maybe one day when I have my life figured out and I will see everything clearly, then maybe we will meet again. And I couldn't believe what happened next. A few days later, after I wrote the poem down here, my friend that I really missed and haven't seen for a long time texted me, and they asked for a meeting. So I was like, and then I connected the dots, right? And I was like, wow, what? That is really like spellcasting, and it actually works. And I was so shocked because, well, I don't believe in magic, That's so crazy. But maybe I'm a witch after all. So then I believed that this magic thing that is truly just a psychological trick, I think, works. Like, geez, I didn't know that I was so powerful. So basically, it proved to me how powerful our mind is, and what we can do just by reprogramming what we are thinking about the world, and that a thought is really a lot more than just a thought. Some people describe it as some energy or whatever. I don't know how to describe it with words, honestly. But it is true that what you tell yourself is really creating the world, and that we can't know the actual truth, the actual objective truth. We can only create the truth. And that is beautiful. And I was always loving this idea that you can create something, that you can create basically. So now that I discovered that I don't only create like art or whatever, I can also create the world, the whole world. It's amazing. And honestly, I want to talk more about it on specific examples, and I want to show you my spellbook, and I want to show you my enchanted rings, and basically tell you more about what I am actually doing with this magic. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you ever wanted to like play with magic, and what are your experiences, and yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah, these are my discoveries lately. That's what I wanted to share. So wait for more updates. Thank you for listening and hope you are good. And remember, you are lovely by nature. Bye bye!